Hi, thanks for tuning in to another Atomic-Moto product review. Today I'm here to talk about the Forma Predator motocross boots. Okay, we'll give you a real detailed review of these boots here in just a moment, but first I'd like to talk a little bit about the brand Forma itself because you may not have heard of it. Forma is based in northern Italy in the same Veneto region that the other famous European boot manufacturers are based in, Sidi, Gaerne, Alpinestars. In fact, all of those really skilled premium boot manufacturers are within about a 5-mile radius of each other, and that includes Forma. They're not as well known in the US for a few reasons. Most importantly, they haven't had an importer here in our country, and without that footprint for distribution and marketing, they're just not as well known. The other is that they have a much longer experience building private label boots for other brands. Forma has built boots for lots of brands that you probably have heard of. They build some of the BMW models. They built some boots for Sidi, a couple of other European manufacturers also. In the past, they had the Diodora license. They had a complete line of boots under the Diodora brand, and then years ago, even they built a lot of boots for Fox and for Thor. So they've got a really, really good base of manufacturing skill, knowledge, and expertise, and they build a great boot. This is the point that I want to emphasize. They are as good for durability as any of the other European brands. They build a terrific boot, great quality, great stuff. Okay, let me talk about this particular model. First of all, the Predator is fairly new. It's been out since about the summer. We waited because we wanted to do a really detailed review of this and really understand how they worked. In fact, I've been riding in this pair, myself and a couple of other people. We have about 10 rides on these so far, 7 for myself, and so I've got a good feel for how they work. The Predators come in sizes 41, which is roughly about a size 7, 7.5, up to a 49. Forma's size chart says that is a size 15. Really, it's closer to a 14. They are a little bit heavier for a motocross boot. This pair of size 44s here was 4.9 pounds. That puts it on par with a Gaerne SG10, and they're both near the upper end of the range for motocross boots. Some other boots weigh about a quarter to a half pound less typically. The fit of the Predators, let's talk about the fit a little bit. They're sold in European increments. That means 41, 42, 43, etc. Not in US sizes, and so that is a little bit more tricky to find your size, but it's also more precise. There are more increments. I find that in my case, I'm typically a 46, a 47. In most motocross boots, I can get by with a size 46. These I needed to bump up to a size 47, and that is because there's extensive padding on the interior of the boot, and just going up that one small increment gave me a little bit of extra room and lots of comfort. They come in 6 different colors, lots of different variants. These are 2 different variations of how they use the color. White with red, white with orange, white with green, white with black. Obviously a solid black, a black and yellow. I may be leaving one out. I'm certainly leaving the white and green one out because we don't sell green. Most important thing to talk about for the Forma Predator is the fact that it is a mechanically hinged boot. And if you watched any of our other videos, you know that we're big fans of boots with mechanical hinges. The Predator takes the mechanically pivoting concept up to the next level. The Predator has a dual pivot. You can see that right here, this dog bone shaped piece, which is made of carbon fiber, not faux carbon fiber, mind you. This is actual carbon fiber. There's one on the outer side and one on the inner side of the boot. This is a dual pivot system, one above the ankle and one below the ankle. It helps to mimic the leg movement of the ankle a little bit more closely, and you can see that it does have a nice easy flex here. The top part of the boot, when you're flexing forward, is really easy to bend, and then when you're flexing backwards, you engage the lower pivot a little more. I think you're going to see more boots with dual pivots. This is something that you see on knee braces, and it really does have a better biomechanical aspect to it. We'll talk about how it works on the bike a little bit later. Speaking to the mechanical pivot, the entire upper piece of the boot is plastic. There's a nice, good guard here on the back of the calf. Wrapping around, you've got a nice plastic piece here where the buckles go, extending into a nice large shin plate. There's a silicone rubber burn guard. This is a step up in place of leather. It does two things. It helps from pipe burn, from melting in the pipes. And this is actually nice and grippy for gripping the motorcycles. I find that it's really easy to grab the bike and get a little bit of extra grip out of that. That's a really nice feature. Continuing down the boot, you know, as it should be, the entire lower foot is encased in plastic. Nice heel counter here, that's good and very, very protective. A good inside ankle plastic piece, and then it wraps up and over the toe. So the entire lower part of the boot is encased in plastic, which is a very good thing, but you still get very good flex because of the mechanical pivot. Now speaking to the sole, this is a welt sole design, a Goodyear welt or Norwegian welt sole, which means the sole is stitched on. I'm going to flip that around so you can see. It's a Skywalk dual compound sole, developed with Forma, with a joint venture between Forma and Skywalk, and it is stitched on, which means it can be resoled. There is a trick toe cap here, which is a little bit lighter weight than a regular steel one, has a little bit different look. It's got an unusual name, which I'm sorry I don't recall, but it's just a toe cap. The buckles of the boot are another thing to discuss and to explain. They're machine aluminum buckle, really beautiful to look at, and a pretty nice action. It's just a friction mechanism, and it's got a little spring-loaded little tab on the end to give you a little bit of extra leverage when you're opening it. It's just a male-female design. This is a very simple, very practical design. It's not our favorite buckle. We'll talk about that a little bit later also. Speaking to the interior of the boot, this is where the rubber meets the road as far as this particular model. You know, the inside of this boot has so much internal padding, just this really nice memory foam and polyethylene molded padding on the inside. It just feels extremely cushy. I'm going to try and get some detail shots here. We'll have to take some statics and drop those in. But you can see there is nice polyethylene foam padding here that continues down through the ankle area. And in the ankle on either side, there is a thick donut-shaped memory foam padding, really soft in there, that really grips and holds your ankle very snugly. Does a really good job of it. You know, the feel of the inside of the boot is unusually padded and comfortable, and as a result, very, very secure. There are lots of other really technical details on it. Some are very interesting, some are superfluous. You know, like we see some venting here on the back and some venting here on the front. They don't pass through to the inside of the boot, so that really doesn't do much of anything, but they look really cool. But in any case, the basics of this boot are that it is a dual pivot mechanical hinge. It has lots of plastic around the exterior of the boot, and has lots of padding on the interior of the boot. Good details, such as a really high quality burn guard, a really high quality set of buckles, and a really high quality sole. You know, we were waiting for these for a very, very long time, and we had pretty high expectations for them. Frankly, the Predator has exceeded them, most notably in two areas. All of the extensive internal padding on these really gives you a nice, secure, comfortable feel. I can't overstate that point. They just feel really good when you put them on. The second thing that is really important is, you know, the dual pivot hinge, it really works. The ankle action, the flex of this fore and aft, especially bending your foot forward or lifting your toe upward, is really nicer than just about any boot that we've tried. It just feels great, nice and linear, nice and smooth. In addition to that, there's a mechanical stop, so that there is a method designed and built into the boot, into the design, to prevent hyperflexion and hyperextension, and that's really important. The build quality on Formas is, we commented on earlier, but they're not new to boot making. They have that really nice premium European finish quality and quality materials, and so that's another good thing about them. As far as negatives, they are a little bit big and a little bit bulky. That was something that was more of a showroom problem than actually out on the motorcycle, but there are people that prefer a really small and compact boot, and this isn't the most compact boot in the category by any stretch. Just the overall fit, finish, and function of these is really at or near the top of the industry, and that's a big step forward for Forma, and we're really stoked on it. We look forward to using them for a really, really long time, but for the time being, these are on par with the best from Gaerne and Sidi, and that's a really powerful statement. So that is our review of the Forma Predator boots. We are Atomic-Moto, www.atomic-moto.com, home of the bombers. We are mission focused on getting you the right gear for you, your bike, your type of riding, and in some cases your region. We're a very small shop, but we're also very hands-on with product, as I'd like to point out here with these. We do our best to actually try the stuff out on the motorcycle and understand how it works, and then to give truthful comments to you. Our guarantee over there is something that we really live by, and to give you good product information that you can really use to choose what works for you is something that's very important to us. We back that up with the best customer service possible, things like fast, free shipping, super easy returns, no restock fees, and people that can answer the phone and respond to special requests when necessary. So we hope that this has been helpful to you. We hope that you check out the Forma Predators, and we hope to see you out on the bike. Thanks for tuning in.